Good morning, Tansuit here, and today I am back to show you how to clean your wigs. This is an ongoing series on my YouTube channel. I don't know what to call it, like 101 wigs or something, to get people familiar with synthetic wigs and how to care for them, how to store them, all of these kind of things. And today we're talking about cleaning wigs. And again, I deal with synthetic wigs specifically for cosplay. These are made out of plastic, so if you're looking on how to like clean human hair, I cannot really help you here. Like, look to other people for that, because my expertise lies with plastic. The wig I'm dealing with today is this one here. This is a cosplay wig for Lucy from Fairy Tale. This is a fairly old wig. I think I bought it in 2013-14. Very happy with it, but it is it's quite greasy. It's got like a little bit of a film to it, and it just needs some caring and loving. There are a lot of ways to clean your synthetic wigs, and some people will swear by laundry detergent, and technically that works because it's a synthetic fiber, so it would deal with that the same way synthetic clothing would. Some people swear by fabric softener or like a combination of those two. I am not particularly fond of it, basically because my skin is really sensitive. I'm prone to eczema, so I'm careful with things that are triggers for it, and unfortunately for me, laundry detergent is a trigger. So where I don't feel confident that I could get rid of every single trace of laundry detergent from my clothing, or like in this case wigs that will touch my skin, I tend to be a little bit more skeptical towards using it. As far as fabric softener is something we old-time cosplayers used quite a lot back in the day to dull the shine on wigs. Because when I started cosplaying back in 2009, there wasn't that many top quality wigs available. So the wigs you associate with like party wigs, the super shiny ones you get at like commercial stores that are not specifically for wigs, that's kind of what we had available. So we had a lot of tricks to try and dull the shine, and fabric softener was one of them. That being said, the reason why that works is because fabric softener kind of leaves a film behind on the fibers, and that dulls it. Again, I have sensitive skin, so I react to fabric softener as well. And also, the buildup of fabric softener on your clothing and your wigs can be harmful towards the fibers in the long run. So I tend to stay away from fabric softener, but it's all about what you're trying to achieve and what you know you can deal with and handle or not. Personally, when I clean wigs, I use this. This is liquid detergent, like for dishes, this dish detergent. This is Zalo, and this is the Norwegian version of like Dawn dish soap, Fair Liquid, all of these things. But this is what I have, being a Norwegian, and I use this. You're also going to want to hear what I have to say about water, because the temperature you clean your wigs in has a lot to say for your wig in general. Because, like this little blonde one, this has a little bit of a wave pattern in the fibers. When styling wigs, some of you will, some of you won't know that when you deal with plastic, it's important to use heat to achieve whatever you want going on in your wig. So for a curl, you're gonna want to curl it, hold it in place, apply heat, and then wait for it to cool. And that's the only way to make sure a curl pattern, for instance, holds in a wig. So that means that if I use warm water for this, or even close to boiling, keep in mind that a lot of wigs has a very set temperature resistance they can deal with. So this one here can probably not handle much more than like 180 degrees Celsius. That is on the very high end of what this one can handle. So, you know, keep in mind, whatever you do, what can your wig handle? First and foremost, before being ruined. But just warm water even is most likely gonna mess up the curl pattern on this. So if you dunk this in warm water, you might end up losing the wave pattern. But whereas if you use cool to lukewarm water, you're very, very likely gonna see that the curl pattern is gonna survive being cleaned, which is really nice, especially if you've spent time styling the wig, at least with the pattern of it. The next step is really to get into cleaning. I'm going to be using my sink because that's easy, and I am going to be using a towel and my laundry knife, my liquid dish detergent. Words. Anyway, I'll take you closer so you can have a close-up of what I am doing over in the sink. So the first thing you're going to want to do is fill your sink with the temperature of water you want. For me, that's cool to lukewarm. So I'm going to start by making sure I find the temperature I want, and I do that just by touching because I know I want it on the cool side. Alright, it's not like super full, but like you can see there's some water in here. Sorry for the scrambling noises in the background. My dog is trying to chase a fly. But anyway, you're gonna add some of this. I just do like a good little squirt. And I'm not aiming for bubbles here. You can go for it, but like, I don't find it makes a difference. And then just hand swirl it in. Get your beautiful wig. And dunk that girl. Dunk it. If you have areas with like a build-up of styling products, so for instance that would be the bangs for me, that's where I have some hairspray and like some paste, I just take a little bit off the detergent, the liquid, dishwasher liquid, on my fingers and just like smear it in a little, lift the area where I want it to be applied and go like this. And if you have a scrunch or a crunch, then you like work that up. Give it a little massage. Don't be too vigorous because we don't want the fibers to tangle too much. It's always good working with the hair direction. And don't pull whatever you do. When wigs are wet, they are more susceptible to having hairs pulled out of it. But just work it into the areas where it's needed. And you can see we're getting a little bit of a soapy mess here. There we go. And now you're just gonna let the wig have its good bath. I usually leave it for about an hour or so. You can leave it for longer. I don't recommend leaving it for like overnight or anything, just because I like having control of it. But that being said, it's like synthetic fibers, so it's probably not going to take damage of it, but you know, just do as I say. And occasionally come back and like agitate it a bit, stir it up, junk it, make it, yeah, I don't know, one of these. Got it? I'll be back in about an hour or so. Welcome back. Now we're going to be draining the water. So, gather your beautiful locks. Give them a little squeeze. But don't bring it out because that can warp the plastic fibers. So just squeeze. No wringing, squeezing. Drain. Refill with clean water. Rinsing it for soap, plug her up, refill with clean water. Alright, water is clean. Squish and agitate and try and get the soaps out of the wig. Again, gentle movements, squishing and like bopping. Little pounces. And just, yeah, swish it around in the water. And now, we're just gonna leave it. But this time, like tops 10 minutes or so. Next water change. Repeat. Rinse and repeat. Ditto. As you're noticing, I'm not leaving it to soak this time. Now, just gonna pour the water out like that. And this time, when I refill the sink, I am going to let the water hit gently where I put in the most soap earlier, and that was the fringe for, or the bangs for me. And again, very important to control the temperature of your water here. And then I'm just gonna do the little swishy moments to just make sure there is no soap stuck in here. Looks pretty good. So now I'm just gonna let the water from the sink wash over all the way to the ends here. You can see I got some more soap out, so I'm gonna do a little repeat. Eventually, you're gonna see that there is like way less soap coming out, or like none at all. You'll see it by the bubbles when you use dishwasher liquid. So now that I'm confident my wig is dry, I am going to start squeezing it. So I start at the cap and just work my way down, thinking that I'll squeeze the water out of it. Again, not scrunching, just squeezing it like you would with a pet. And now we're gonna move because she needs to be toweled. Alright, I have got the towel out for my little wig. Grab her from the sink, plop her down on the towel, and just gonna fold my towel, and then I'm gonna go pat, pat, pat. If you haven't caught it by now, the secret to cleaning wigs is patting. There we go. It's been actually more than 10 minutes, but she's soaked up a lot of water. And the next step now is to find somewhere it can hang and drip dry. So that can be in your shower, it can be over the sink. I just recommend that the hair is hanging free and not touching on anything. And you can have a towel underneath to catch the water that drips off. And by tomorrow, this should be dry. Good evening and welcome back to the next day. We're gonna continue with our bundle of dried wig. So, here we go. This is the wig in all its glory, all dry, and as you can see, the wave pattern has kept intact and the wig is now clean. So all left for me to do now is make sure it's not too messy and frizzy. So I'm just gonna plop it on the wig head now and grab one of these brushes and brush through her. And yeah, there we go. That's her brushed through. You can see that she's glorious, luscious, she's clean, and she smells clean, and she's ready for me to wear for whatever next purpose I have for her. And brushing it out, that's a whole another video on my channel, so look for that and get tips on how to brush it through after, for instance, the cleaning. Now, before I sign off for today, just because I know I'm gonna get questions about it, how often should you clean your wigs? And my super diplomatic answer for that is as often as you'd like, whenever you want to. For some people, that's going to be every time it's been out in public or at conventions. For some, that's going to be never. If it's a super heavily styled wig, that is more likely to fall into the I will never wash this thing category. And for me, well, it depends on the wig and it depends on the use. So, you know, for this one, it felt greasy to the touch and it just didn't lay the way I wanted it to. I will often clean a wig before I restyle it. And if I have, for instance, taken it to a shoot where it has gotten lots of nature or dirt on it, for instance. But it's all up to your own personal preference and your own judgment, we shall say. A lot of people also swear by cleaning their wigs before they wear and style them. That is also up to you to do as you please. I'm just here to give you the facts and you can figure out what you like for yourself. Anyway, happy cleaning!